3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome back to Show Me Trucks. Another Suburban video. I think this is episode 6, but it's never a fun video unless you have a big thunderstorm coming in. So let's see what we can do. Like I said, at the farm, I'm gonna try to unload this burb down here, pull the frame over on this side, hopefully, and try to figure out a way to slide this, lift it, slide this body off this frame onto that frame before the hailstorm comes. So let's see how this goes. Well, that's how unloading the truck's going. Not that bad of a storm, stuck in my truck. Yay! Look how rusted out that little retainer clamp is on the leaf springs. Crazy. But then the other ones look fine, but this one, it's funny to see how rusted out some stuff on this truck is. Day 2. So I just kind of lined up the chassis. Obviously, I know this is not going to be easy, but another thing, I was having trouble with getting this chassis to roll around, so I ended up pulling the torque tube out. She's clean. I think the lifting points are gonna be back in here has structure. All that is like a bed floor, you know, it's wood with some side supports, and then there's some structure up there. So I'm probably gonna have to lift from there. Obviously I can't do anything up by the firewall. There's nothing strong up there. These doors are sagging crazy now that I messed with them. Now that all that's broken loose. So hopefully up, slide over. I'm really trying not to remove any of these doors. She's looking good. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't need all these beads. Like, obviously someone's already been into this side, because it's, even though it's, what's crazy is they kind of have some little body lines in there, but I don't need any of those. So I think just some flat steel and just kind of bend it to shape. And I might have to replace it from like all the way back in this corner, because obviously it's pretty bad right in here, all the way up to that front corner right above there. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run padded panels from here all the way down, kind of like they did. That way I can run some sound deadening. I want this to be as quiet as I can, and then I'll run sound deadening up here, and then obviously not in this area. I want this to be fairly quiet in here. There's a big old bus. I don't want it to be super loud for the kids, you know. This is the family of vehicles, so yeah, try to keep that in mind. But yeah, some of this is all here, and I can redesign all that, so I'm not really stressing, because I might even be using different wheel tubs. These look pretty rotted out, mainly that one, but this one also. I would love to use them, but if the metal's too thin, I'm obviously not gonna sweat it too much. There she is. I need to get that steering wheel off, and obviously the one day I actually need my steering wheel puller, I can't find it to save my life. So I do have a 3-jaw puller, and I sprayed that with some penetrating oil, so hopefully I can get that loose today. I really am not liking how crazy these doors are sagging right now, but it is what it is. Well, you know it's a good build when you break both the bolts holding your steering column up. So just a little heads up of how this project's gonna go. GoPro died, so I'll show you this before I drop it. But rust bucket for sure. Everything broke when I was moving it, which obviously I'm not stressing. I wouldn't have moved it that way if everything was nicer, but it's not that nice of a truck. Even this was kind of hitting. Well, this whole thing is sliding up in there now. Like I said, it was all rusted out there anyway, so whenever I get to working on it, I'll level the frame out and adjust the body, and whenever I redo all the supports anyway. But I planned on redoing everything in there anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. This side's even better, and it's even worse metal up in here, so when that ripped, I didn't really care. The same, all those are patched together, and there's not even supports underneath, so when that's flexing, I don't care. I really don't. I'll get that body line together and remake that, and then everything back here, like I said, I'm gonna raise these fenders, and I'm actually gonna let that all end right here. I'm gonna flip those bumper brackets upside down and run that bumper higher up. That way I have some more clearance. The only thing I'm not that excited about is I really want my spare tire to sit up higher, but I'm planning on getting rid of all that. Later on, I'll show you some patches that are in there. I think it's some galvanized tin. So, you know, it's all buckled and looking gross, but it's on the other frame, so now I can cut this one up, which is cool. So, like I said, all this was rusted out. So now this layer is shifted on top of there. So this whole thing is moving around. Pretty exciting. The sides held together by whatever's still left, and then all this separated before. So like I said, I don't feel bad about cutting this bad boy up because it is such garbage, but now I can get all this stuff out of my way, take whatever parts I can salvage off this frame, mainly like gas tank brackets. Hopefully I'm gonna check this tank. I'm sure it's bad. Alright, let's wrap up another video. I won't lie, all of that sucked. I would definitely do it way different next time. But moving the Suburban to the other frame, oh, I need a crane and a big hoist or something. How I did it was dumb. If it was a nicer body, I would not have done it like that. Just let you know. With the modifications I'm gonna do, I kind of beat it up in areas that I was gonna fix anyway, so it didn't really stress me. But I spent all day today just cutting off brackets and things off the other frame, chopped it all up so I can take it all to my scrap. Let me show you what I saved off the frame. That was an old Suburban frame. I'm saving these axles in case I need the front axle. But if I get a four-wheel drive axle, I can use that as a core, the same as the rear as a core. So, you know, that at least is $30 each. But that's what's left of the frame. I do have the gas tank, which I'm gonna keep so I can make some measurements. I'm probably gonna make my own tank. And then over here, I have spare tire bracket. This stuff I don't plan on using, but I saved it anyway. That way I can sell it at swap meets. The Suburbans and panels have a front sway bar, so I saved that for someone. I would use a beefier one on mine. If I can't find one, I'll use that one. Those are the leaf spring little brackets, brake bracket, trans cross member, rear leaf spring mounts. I at least wanted to save these little hangers, but you always kind of want to save anything you can. These are the pretty intricate gas tank mounts. So they're obviously the straps are pretty rusted out, but the other brackets would be really hard to make. So happy I have those still. These are this is the main thing I needed off of the frame. These are my front rear leaf spring mounts. So I need to knock all the rivets out. Kind of easier to chop the frame up and then do all that in the garage. This is the front of the steering box. I saved all these mainly just for mounting up and moving things around. I'm sure buy new ones whenever I do. And then I cut all this off because I wasn't sure exactly if the truck frame will even have these rear mounts. These are your rear cab mounts. The truck uses a little bit different mount, but save the running board brackets, even though they're pretty crusty. And then cut all that. At least I have measurements and everything, so I could just mount these back on the same way that they are on the frame, obviously. Rear leaf spring mounts, but I also, like I said, I know where the running board brackets go, but I don't know where these go. So if I just cut all this off at once, then I can, when I go to mount those, I at least have all my mounting holes. More running board brackets, and then front and rear bumper mounts. But that is the end of that frame. So happy. It's just hard to cut everything up and get into all these crevices to save things, but it's done. So now off to the scrapyard, but I am done. It's hot out here and I had a long sleeve on. Now that that's done, finish up the 36 back here, get it running probably tomorrow, and see how that goes. Thanks for watching. Later.